Gymnastics requires physiological strategies, muscular strength, flexibility, and balance, along with the skill of planning and focused training. In PDHPE, we want to set students up for life, so after school they have the knowledge and skills to continue to be physically active. Here's what this looks like through some gym skills. Before we start, some safety points. Use mats and/or soft surfaces with no bumps or holes. Have students take their shoes off and in some situations their socks. Constantly supervise students and make sure they know to be vigilant of their surroundings. Make sure students use equipment one at a time unless they're advised otherwise. Skills like the forward roll help to develop bilateral coordination of the body and helps to improve eye tracking, and when done regularly or with other exercise can help strengthen core muscles. Good bilateral skills will help people acquire other skills quicker and better, so this can have an impact on students' running, agility, and catching for life. Before we do a forward roll, it's important to stretch, as it uses some pretty big muscles. Now let's get limber. Gemma, would you like to demonstrate some stretches we can do for a forward roll? Now a forward roll might be tricky for some, so an egg roll is a good way to get used to some of the movements. Could you please egg roll for us? This is really good at getting children used to the movements and the way their bodies will be positioned. Now that she's prepared, it's time to try a proper forward roll. Gemma's going to start with her legs apart to make it easier for her to get used to the motion. For safety, Gemma is always going to have her chin to her chest. This is going to protect her head and neck. Then Gemma is going to slightly bend her elbows and her knees and roll through. Just like that. Now that Gemma's great at that, there are other things we can do to make the difficulty a little bit harder, and there are also variations for the forward roll for different skill levels. Gemma, would you like to try a forward roll starting with straight legs and coming through with straight legs, please? Very nice. Cartwheels with their 360-degree rotation give the brain and the body a good workout. Balance is not just about staying still. It also includes being able to do complex movements without falling. Cartwheels stimulate the body's balance control center. Cartwheels are a great way to access and improve areas of strength and mobility as well as overall coordination and agility. Students learning complex moves like cartwheels will help them learn other skills and become more effective learners and participants in physical activity for years to come. For a cartwheel, we have to figure out which leg we prefer. We can do that in a couple ways. I'm going to ask Gemma to do it like this. Which leg felt better? Her right, so that is the leg that is going to be in front for her cartwheel. Now we've selected which leg to use. We're going to start in a slight lunge position with that leg forward. Now put your arms in the air close to your ears. This will be our starting position for the cartwheel. Let's take a look at hand positioning. If you place your hands out like this, the hand on top will have the corresponding leg leave the ground first. Have a practice at that positioning. Now that we understand the positioning, you're going to use the momentum from your front leg to try and bring your body over. If you want to try and put that together. Great effort, but let's get that back leg off the ground. Kick your back leg up into the air also, which will create enough momentum for you to swing around. Then finish by bringing your non-dominant leg to the ground first. Very nice. Through training balance, we can improve reaction time. This can highly reduce the risk of injury, especially on the knees and ankles. Improving balance can also improve overall athletic performance. Studies have shown regular balance training can help not just for the near future, but long term. Setting students up to be competent at balancing will aid them in physical activity for life. Let's take a look at some basic balancing techniques on the beam. First, let's get Gemma up onto the beam. As you can see, we are using a surface that is wider than a typical beam. It is encouraged if you are using a proper beam or anything higher off the ground than this that you would put mats down for safety, as it would hurt if you were to fall off. First, I need you to figure out which foot is most comfortable. Just like this, test out which foot you would prefer in front. Her right foot. Now, I just want you to place your right foot ever so slightly in front of your left foot, with them just almost touching. Now for your arms. Put them out just like this, and this will help keep you balanced on the beam. Gemma, I want you to find a focal point to look at. This will help keep you balanced on the beam. Now keep your muscles tight and use your arms to balance you if you start to sway. Now, if you have a class full of students, a really fun way to test their balance is to give them a little push on the hip. See how she corrected herself? Students will find this really competitive. It'll be a really fun way to test how good their balance is. Now, let's get you doing a skill. I want to see you do some step kicks across the beam just like this. This will show Gemma's ability to travel and balance across the beam. Now I want to get a bit trickier. Let's do a real test of balance. Gemma, I want you to show me a scoop. What I want you to do, like normal, arms out, walk, and this time we're going to go scoop. First, before you do that, I want to see you dismount the beam in a motorbike landing. Lovely. Nice and deep, please. Nice pointed toes, nice landing, nice, and motorbike. Lovely.